Hi! For this app, we have two main functionalities. The first one is when the user clicks on the New button. When he does, a new box shows up. The user can register a new movie or TV series. When he finishes, he clicks Save and the list of movies and series is updated. He can do it as many times as he wants. Let's go to App Inventor. We have already seen App Inventor variables. We can store text, numbers, and also lists. So we're going to create a variable to store all the movies and series we insert. But first, let's program the visibility of the new item box. Let's go to Blocks area. When the user clicks on New button, btn_novo, I want the visibility of the box with the text box to be true. I mean, the field is visible and the box is visible. So, on the box _novo item, I'm going to set its visibility to true. Something very similar is going to happen when he clicks the Save button, but the box will disappear. So, I'm going to duplicate this block, but set the visibility to false. Let's take a look at the emulator. I click the New button, it appears. I click Save, it disappears. Now, let's create a list to save our movies. I'm going to store the list of movies in a variable. Then, the first thing is to create a variable and initialize it. The variable must be global because it will be used by all the blocks of the page. I'm going to grab the variable and name it Meus Filmes. The initial value is an empty list. So I tell App Inventor this variable is a list. Now, when I click Save, I want to store the value of the text field in this list. Then I'm going to go again on the list group and grab Add Items to List. The list will be Meus Filmes. The value to store is the value of the field txt_novo item. So every time an item is filled and saved, the value will be stored in the variable. Next step, show the list updated. The simplest way to show the contents of a list is to insert them in the label. So we can use the label mensagem to do this. I'm going to set the label text to the list. Let's see what's going to be shown. I click New and insert a movie. Then I click Save. Now the label shows the item I've just inserted. Notice these two parentheses. This is the way App Inventor indicates that this is a list. Let's insert another item. Now I have both items inside parentheses, Office Space and War Games. It seems a little bit messy, but App Inventor knows exactly how many items there are. Although it's simple to see the items like this, at least we know it is storing correctly, it's not so visually nice. App Inventor has function to correct it. One way is to transform it in a vertical list like a table. Let's see how it works. On the bottom of the list group, I'm going to transform the list to a CSV table. CSV means comma separated values, and it means that the items of the list are separated by commas. This format is very common in banks and e-commerce companies to transfer data. So I'm not going to present the list as it is, but I'm going to transform first to the CSV table format. Let's check the emulator. I'm going to insert another item and click Save. Now we have a better list, but there are quotation marks. This is how App Inventor shows the items. But to the final users, we must get rid of these marks. So I'm going to replace all the quotation marks to empty spaces. On the next group, there is a function called replace. So I wanted to replace the quotation marks with empty spaces. The first thing is to get the text I want to be evaluated. The second is what I want. And the third can be an empty text block. Let's see how it's doing. I'm going to insert another movie. When I save, that's it. The marks are gone. Beside the label, we can put on the list view. It's more direct. So I'm going to get the list view and set its elements to the list content. Another movie. And now I have the label list and the list view. To end this version, let's check an important detail. All the time we click New, we have to manually delete the previous item. To improve the usability of the app, let's clean the field after saving the information. So I'm going to set the text to txt_novo item to an empty text. So let's do the last test. I'm going to create another item and save. When I click New again, the field is empty and ready to a new item. This app has only one problem. When we store any value or any list in a variable, by the time we leave the app, the data will be gone. Variables are temporary. On the next unit, we are going to learn how to store value permanently. Hope to see you soon.